Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tembi. I'm a native of New York City. I went back to school at 47 and relocated to the south of France to pursue higher education, where I met and married my husband for the first time at the age of 50. So today I wanted to come in and talk about the loneliness that is a part of your reinvention journey. We love to see the images of triumph and beauty at the end of the journey, but it's the valleys in between the mountains that can be very dark, very frightening, and very lonely. And it's in those valleys that you really learn more about yourself, or you learn, how do I say this? You develop new skills and even develop a whole new community. Whether it's a community of people that have always been around, but you didn't expect them to be around during the transition, or it's a whole new community that you've never seen before. Okay. And sometimes that community is just yourself. So it's interesting because when I arrived here, I didn't have just one restart. I had two. Because remember, I arrived and I lived in Aix-en-Provence for 2 years. And I experienced a lot of housing insecurity. As you recall, you may have seen my video, the video that predicted my wedding date. I was living in an Airbnb and I was getting ready for bed. And I had 2 weeks before I had to leave that Airbnb and find another place to live. Now, mind you, it had taken me 3 months just to secure that location. So I only had 2 more weeks before I had to find something else, and I had nothing on the horizon. But something inside my spirit told me, get up, record your feelings right now, document this moment. And lo and behold, over a year later, after we got married, I realized why. So it was listening to my instincts. So it's in the valley, in those times of darkness, when you get those downloads, you get those messages. So, and it can only happen with a degree of isolation. And I don't mean to sound as if you have no one, because I had people around me, okay? But again, it's in those dark times that you learn, A, what you're made of, and also who your people are, okay? Now, okay, so there was Aix-en-Provence for 2 years, and then just after I made that video, maybe about a week later, I received a job offer that brought me here. Now, after 2 years of working to establish myself in Aix-en-Provence, I did have work. It was more like several part-time jobs, like gig work or whatnot, but I had a community. Now, I was faced with the challenge of having to move to start a new community. But at the end of the day, I felt as if I had to keep moving. You know that point in your journey where you're so far in that you're not sure how much more you can keep investing, but at the same time, retreating is going to cost you the same, if not more. So what are you going to do? You're going to keep going forward, or at least I am. You're going to keep going forward, because moving and starting over was never frightening to me. That has never been frightening to me. What was frightening to me is reaching middle age without trying, without making strides towards the things that I had always dreamt for myself. So sometimes the loneliest moments isn't when you are struggling, it's also when you finally succeed. Case in point, with my wedding, and it was very interesting to me because wedding obviously is a coming together of families. It's a celebration of love and unity and new beginnings, really. I was very surprised as to whom embraced and was there to celebrate that happy new beginning with us. And it wasn't the people I thought it was going to be. the majority of them were people whom actually it was my one of my directrices, okay, whom actually turned into a good friend and helped me secure housing. There, she was a wedding guest. Then there was the chairman, I think he was the chairman, I guess you would call him, the chair of student life at the school of which I was attending, who is actually an opera singer, and he sang at our wedding. And also a couple of friends who came in from the States, whom I in person had not seen in years, but we kept in contact over video, things of that nature. And now I'm about to host another friend I haven't seen in quite some time, who's going to be coming in for about 3 months. She's not going to be staying with us, but she's going to be staying in the area. She's really excited. So I wanted to talk about how it is that after you make these wonderful life changes, you might be surprised that the people who are around you are people you would either never suspect, or people new altogether, but you know that you cultivated that community essentially on your own, not as a result of other people, but on your own. And the people who came to our wedding, that I looked around and I said, wait a second, these are people, most of these people are people from my new life. Okay, these were not people I knew well, not a lot of them, people I knew from the States or whatnot, but people that a community that I cultivated here. That being said, I was also quite surprised to learn that some of my original community that I thought would be around me were a little, how do I say this? Not happy for me. I'll just put it that way. Not happy for me, which in a way is freeing, because now I can focus on what's in front of me, or what's in front of us. Now that goes into my last point. Someone told me that even when you're married, you have to be ready to do things on your own. And I understand exactly what she means by that now. My husband and I adore each other. We are like best of friends. But I truly believe that that is because we have our own separate life. My husband goes to work, comes home, we take care of the farm. Then 3 days a week, he goes to coach his soccer team. I, on the other hand, work from home. I do a lot of my projects, as you might aware, even working on this YouTube channel, my Substack, as well as finishing my books. Those are my projects. And because we have that time and space individually, I truly believe that it makes us a better team. Versus if, for example, today I decided to step up my French practice and start practicing with a conversation partner online. At first I said, oh, well, I've got my husband for that. But no, I decided to continue practicing with another person online, simply because I like I don't want my husband to feel as though he is responsible for everything when it comes to me. Okay? He takes care of 85% of everything. However, when it comes to my personal development and my working on things, I like to kind of give him that little surprise of phrases and things that I've learned. So I found a woman around the same age who lives about 11 hours away in the northwest of France, in Nantes. So the learning is still continuing. The reinvention is still in the process, and I am enjoying it. So I just wanted to come on and say that it's not always what you think it's going to be. Sometimes it can be even better. All right. So I am curious. Have you ever experienced a time when you were surprised who was your support system? What surprised you about that support system? Were there people who may have been colleagues who transitioned into being real friends? Were there people who were just acquaintances who actually transitioned into being real confidants? So, can you tell me a time when you looked behind you and realized your support system is a completely different cast than you originally planned. All right, till next time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I'm Tembi, and I'll see you soon.